imagine spending your whole life preparing for death. Financially preparing for it, thinking about it, meditating on it, considering it. That's exactly what the ancient Egyptians did. That was their whole premise for existence, was preparing for the afterlife. And it was a huge investment. It was also big money. A lot of money involved in funerary services and purchasing your own tomb and your own gods, little idols and manuscripts, scrolls, your little and each person had to purchase their own spell books. They would you'd have to know these spells in order to pass through the underworld. So it was quite a fortune. I mean, some people, not everybody had the same amount of money. They tailored it to the different levels of the economy. They favored or they tailored to the poor and the middle class and the rich. Obviously, the rich would spend more on better spells and better charms and better magic, but it still cost. Still cost. And but that was what their whole life was about. I'm wondering if that's still on people's minds today. Preparing for eternity. Do people even think about it? And if they do, for how long? Usually it's not something that people like to chew on for or dwell on, because it's kind of depressing if you don't have any hope. But perhaps they just ignore it because they don't feel like they're right with God. So, because if you look at death, you've got to think about God. So if you don't think about death, you don't have to think about God. But it doesn't matter. God is God in life and in death. God is God. It doesn't matter when you think about it. Although we're commanded in the Holy Prophet said that we are supposed to consider God and death and hereafter, and of course living a good life, righteousness.